Tenzin.
Who is it?
Tangent.
Tenzin, sir.
अच्छा तेंजिन, इतना डिफिकल्ट आईडी है तेंजिन. Tenzin got 13. Shubhan,
Star Lulu sir.
okay. Shubhanshu is 18. Tirupati 16. Simon Thiru 16. Surat 16. Shashank Pillai 15. Shivani Khare 19. Jain Shreyansh is 18. Sumran 17. Subhanshu is 17. Sakshi 16. Guptyash 7089. Who is it? Guptyash 7089.
Yes,
Tarun
Gupta,
Gupta.
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
17.
Gupta. Yes, Gupta.
Shantan Shubodh K. 12.
Yes, sir.
Vijay Siddharth 16. Vinayak 17. Uday Veli Sethi 14. HWASNIK. Who is it? HW.
Harshal Vasu.
Okay. Okay, so 15. Virat Chandra 14. Amrit Jais is 18. Sajal Datsena is 17. H. Shekhar 16. Vishal Kumar 16. Srishti 13. Shreya 14. Gupta Arun 14. Upendra Unnati is 15. Vivor 14. Utkarsh 13. Yasmin 15. Shivam Upadhyay is 12. Samriddhi 13. Yash Singh 17. Shivanshu 18. Then TH THEUTKAR. Who is it?
Utkarsh Patel, sir.
अच्छा उत्कर्ष पटेल ऐसा आईडी है. उत्कर्ष पटेल is 19. So Shiva Prayaj C. Shiva Prayaj G 17. Mishra Basudev 19. Then Superb Sweetu. ये कौन है भाई? Sweetu? Superb Sweetu किसका आईडी है? हर्षल, ये स्वीटू कौन है भाई? सुपर्ब स्वीटू 15. बहुत अच्छा आईडी चुना है. देन स्वीटू के बाद यचना चौधरी 9. सुरभि सरभाई ये क्या सुरभई SURVIA सुरभिया खिल. अच्छा अखिल. ओके सो अखिल सुरभि ओके इज 13. संजय झा 13. Soumya 18. 24 I am Seed 14. Uma Kartike 14. Sanjeet 17. Shush Hasda is 11. Palak Tripti 12. Apala Naidu 11. Anushri 12. Then Swarnalata 10. Sakshi 13. Shilpa 13. Vinit 15. Shruti 15. Then Sasa Puapa Naidu 12. Then Shipranshi 15. MK Painkara is 5. That's all. Highest कौन है? Who got highest?
19 this guy.
19. How many people?
19 Vasudev, sir.
और कोई?
Utkarsh Patel.
19.
Sir,
Shivani Khare.
sir, I joined late. Can you tell my marks?
What is your email ID?
Sir, ss582@gmail.com.
582.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 13. Srishti 582.
So out
13.
of 30, yeah, 15.
Out of 13. Sorry, out of 30, 30. Anyone
Okay,
else
sir.
would like to know the number?
Sir, my Vijay Siddharth.
Which one?
Vijay Siddharth.
ID?
Sir, Vijay Siddharth 2003.
2003. Okay, this is Shashank Dhariwal. This one.
No, sir, Vijay Siddharth 2003.
Okay, Surat. Vijay Siddharth, 16. out of
Okay, sir.
30? 16.
Okay, sir.
Anyone
Sir,
else?
Sir, Shubhanshu sir are 15 है ना? Because there are two Shubhanshu.
Roll ID बोलो भाई.
Shubhanshu sir are 0.
SARAF. Shubhanshu Saraf 0 is 18.
Okay, sir.
Anyone else?
Sumran sir.
Sumran. ID बोलो भाई.
Sumran 04.
Sorry, 804.
Sumran 04 sir. 04.
MRAN 04.
Yes sir.
Sumran is 17. 17.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so that's all. This section performed compared to last exam. I think this is better performance. What do you guys' opinion?
Last was better.
Last
Constant.
one was better.
Last
Yes,
one
sir.
was
Previous
easy.
one was
Yes, sir.
better.
Previous one better.
Yes, sir.
Sir, in MCQ 124 was highest.
MCQ 1. Acha. Because comprehension passage was there. And here if you look at the question, the questions are also not difficult but tricky. So Sanjeet is
Sir,
here.
due to this marks, our SGPA will decrease, sir, because of.
No. I told you, na. I mean, 70 marks there in your hand. Don't worry about that. And over there, I swear there will not be question like MCQ 1 and 2. Sanjeev, please go ahead, boy.
Yes, sir. Sir, I can present my screen.
Yes, boy.
My topic is solar energy. First, I would like to discuss that what is solar energy. And so the most simple definition of solar energy is energy generated from sun. It is created by nuclear fusion that take place in the sun. Fusion occurs when protons of hydrogen atoms violently collide in the sun's core and fuse to create a helium atom. This process is known as
Sanjeet, 1 second. 5091 is your
Yes,
roll
sir.
number.
Yes, sir.
So whenever you are giving presentation, make sure your roll number is there. So please go ahead,
Sir,
Sanjeet. Please go ahead, Sanjeet.
I think it is mentioned, sir.
Yes, but no. Sorry. Actually, the way you have mentioned, it's absolutely fine. I'm requesting other people to follow you.
Achha, okay, sir.
Make it full screen and go ahead, boy.
Yes, sir. So there are two types of solar energy. First one is thermal energy. This type of energy is everywhere in our surrounding as the light rays. It heats our earth and maintains earth's temperature. Second one is electric energy. This type of energy is uses the power of sun to produce electricity through solar cells, solar panels, etc. Now there are some the primary source of solar energy is sun. So diameter, I would like to discuss some basic information about sun. Diameter of the sun is 1.3927 million kilometers, and which is 120 times greater than the earth. And distance of sun from earth is 150 million kilometer approx. And center density of the sun is 100 times density of water. Which is sun is made up of hydrogen fuel and composed of layer, and the outer layer is known as photosphere. Now, sir, importance of solar energy. No greenhouse gas emission are released into the atmosphere. This is the first importance of solar energy. Secondly, it is a renewable source of energy which will never get over from this earth. So it can be used in unlimited quantity, and cost are quite low as compared to other non-renewable source of energy like petrol, coal, etc. And it is a clean source of energy, so no pollution can be done using this energy. Now this is Earth's energy budget. 100% solar energy is generated from sun, but the consumption is only 51%. So rest is absorbed by clouds, atmosphere, and the total energy which is consumed is 51%. So this 51% we can use. It can be used by us in many ways. Current solar energy consumption is only about 8%, and this is all renewable energy. This 8% is all renewable energy, in which hydropower also come, biomass come, wind, geothermal energy come, and solar energy only uses 1% of it. Some practical application of solar energy are solar cookers used in rural India. So this is the solar cooker. Second, solar street light, which is used everywhere nowadays in India. Solar car, cost of this car is approx 5 to 6 lakh rupees, but it is not launched in India. Sir, my references are Wikipedia and NASA.government and geology.com, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sanjeev, in references, you did not mention the date you have accessed. This is
Yes,
required.
sir. Okay, sir. Date I will
And
mention.
about the choice of color, I'll always say go by matte finish. Don't choose any glaring color.
Sir, as it was solar energy, so I decided
Understood.
to
Fine. Okay.
put some
So,
like
what
this
is the
orange type.
body? Okay, fine. What is the body which is working in India for promotion of solar energy? Can you tell
Sir?
me which body promotes use of solar energy in India? Any idea?
Solar energy.
There is a particular body which promotes solar energy, use of solar energy in India. Any option?
Sir,
Yes. No idea. Okay, fine.
no, sir, I
Just
don't know,
out
sir.
of curiosity, I
No,
asked.
sir.
Okay, audience, question.
Okay, sir.
Audience. No question.
Sir, do you know about OSOWOG? OSOWOG.
Pardon?
It's related to solar energy.
Also?
Do you know about OSOWOG? It's related to solar energy.
Can you type it?
Sure.
Also, WOG.
Can you explain about
I think
OSOWOG?
That it
Any
is
idea, Sanjeev?
one sun, one word, or one grid, like that. Green Grids Initiative. It is an initiative made by the government and international solar alliances, like that.
Okay, fine.
Okay, Sanjeev, one question. The life of this photovoltaic cell is very less.
Yes, sir.
So anything, do you have researched on that?
Sir,
And it's
alternate sources can be used, sir. Not only solar energy is used in India, but wind energy and other source of energy like hydro energy, which has more power, which has more life. They are also used in India. So it can be an alternate. We can use alternate source, sir. Not only
Okay.
solar energy.
Okay, any other question, audience?
Sir, when it was started or who it was started?
Subodha, be louder, please.
Sir, I think this idea when it was started or where it was started, I want to know, sir. The origin of this idea. I mean, we can use solar energy.
I think in 1881, Charles Fittis, his name was Charles Fittis. He created first idea to start solar panel that could consume the energy of the sun in 1881.
He is from which place?
A place I don't know, but his name is Charles Frittis.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sanjeet.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
Next person,
Yes, sir.
who is it?
So,
Sakshi?
Sakshi,
Okay, go ahead.
this is Sakshi Vilashari, and my topic for presentation is concept of multiverse. So let's get started. It is very strange to imagine other realms separate from ours with fundamentally different features that would rightly be called universes of their own. The idea is very speculative. Surely it is. I aim to convince you that there is reason for taking it seriously, as it just might be right. The preview for the presentation goes like part 1 expansion of space, part 2 superstring theory, and part 3 inflation theory. Let's get started with the part 1 expansion of space. Starts back in 1929 when the great astronomer Edwin Hubble realized that the distant galaxies are rushing away, which means that the space is expanding. Even so, everyone was certain of one thing, that the expansion must be slowing down. The gravitational pull of each galaxy on every other must be slowing down the expansion of space. But in 1990s, when the two teams of astronomers were inspired by this reasoning to measure the rate at which the expansion has been slowing down, but they found that the expansion is not slowing down, it's speeding up, going faster and faster. The reason behind speeding up of the expansion of space takes us back to the old ideas of Einstein, the general theory of relativity, saying that gravity can be repulsive. The question is how gravity can be repulsive. Well, if the space is uniformly filled with an invisible energy, sort of like invisible uniform mist, then the gravity generated by that mist would be repulsive. The repulsive gravity of the individual energy is now what we call dark energy. This dark energy of each galaxy pushes others, so the expansion of the space speeds up, not slow down. When the astronomer worked out how much of this dark energy must be infusing space to account for cosmic speed up, they found a constant. They found this number. This number expressed in relevant units mentioned above. It is spectacularly small, and the mystery is to explain this number. We want it to emerge from the laws of physics, but so far, no one has found a way to do it. You must be thinking that explaining this number is just a technical detail, but some details provide windows onto uncharted realities, and this peculiar number may be doing just that. This number is the only approach that made so far, and a headway to explain it invokes the possibility of other universes. So, all this mystery of dark energy is in this number, and if we can explain this number, so we can explain dark energy. This takes me to the second part, the super string theory. The string theory has nothing to do at first sight with the mystery of the constant, but when we study superstring theory, we find it resurrects the idea in a sparkling new fashion. It is a theory that tries to explain the question, what are the fundamental, indivisible, uncuttable constituents making up everything in the world around us? Deep inside the object, we all know when we go sufficiently far down, we have atoms. We know that atoms are not the end of the story. They have little electrons that swarm around central nucleus with neutrons and protons. Even neutrons and protons have smaller particles inside them known as quarks, which is where the conventional idea stops. Here is the new idea of string theory. Deep inside any of this particle, there is something like a dancing filament of energy. It looks like a vibrating string. That's the idea where the string theory comes from, and just like a vibrating string, this can vibrate in different patterns. Rather than producing different notes, they produce different particles making up the world around us. So all the electrons, protons, neutrons, gravitons are made of vibrating strings. But this theory works only in 10 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time, lead us right to the idea of extra dimensions. Well, this extra dimension is believed to hold answer to perhaps what is the deepest question. the mystery of constant of the dark energy we discussed earlier. So when we talk about these extra dimensions, here is what string theory says. They have a rich intertwined geometry, looks something like this. So the string theory suggests that all the numbers are just the reflection of the way the string can vibrate. So if we can find what are these extra dimensions, we can exactly know how the string vibrates, and we should be able to find the constant. So if the string theory is true, we find definite explanation for what this value is. Mystery solved, value obtained. But there must be a mechanism that can generate universe, right? Like R has a mechanism that is Big Bang theory. But Big Bang theory gives us insight into how the universe was formed after the bang, but has no insights into what caused the bang itself. This gap was filled by enhanced version of the Big Bang theory. It's called inflation theory, which identified a particular kind of fuel that would naturally generate an outward rush of space. The fuel is something based on quantum field, but the only matter thing that matters for us is that fuel proves to be so efficient that it's impossible to use it all up. That means in inflation theory, Big Bang giving rise to our universe is not likely a one-time event. Instead, the fuel not only generates a Big Bang, but it generates countless other Big Bang, each giving rise to its separate universe, with our universe becoming one in a grand cosmic bubble bath. Now, when we meld this superstring theory with this inflation theory, here is the picture we are led to. Each of these universes has their extra dimensions, take on variety of different shapes. This different shape yield different physical features, and different physical features lead to different forms of life. So here we are with the multiverse having a mechanism to develop and everything explained with different galaxies and life in the different forms. Thank you. References. So
Sakshi, good presentation. One question: what is the difference between string theory and this superstring theory?
sir, string theory was like there was only one extra dimension, that was the basic idea. But superstring theory states that there is not just one extra dimension, there are multiple dimensions in which the string can vibrate. But unified older string theory was just like there is one extra dimensions other than three dimensions and time. But superstring theory states that there are more.
What is the basic of string theory? Can you tell me? Like, if I don't know the basics of string theory, what would you say in layman's language?
Basic idea for string
Like
theory.
superstring theory also. Yes.
The
Just
basic.
explain me what is this string theory all about.
So basic idea starts from there must be something like a very, very, very small particle that is not uncuttable. There is nothing beyond that. And it is the only thing that can give rise to bigger particles than like electrons, then atoms, and then this universe. When we go down, so we have electrons, we have protons, and we have neutrons, but they are also divisible, right? They have quarks in them. Quarks are also divisible, but we have not yet have access to that technology. But there must be something which is very fundamental, starts from very basics, like it is undivisible. So that is the very idea.
Okay. So, okay. Next question, Shubhanshu. Some new face? Apart from Shubhanshu, any new face? Vasudev Mishra, please go ahead.
Sakshi, I would like you to explain or just give an inference of this on this topic, that can we consider time as a dimension? And if we are considering time as a dimension, would you consider it as a linear dimension or a non-linear? Or in what sense can you explain?
Time is definitely a dimension. Time is already considered a dimension. Up to now, we can consider this as a linear dimensions, but it can be multidimensional as well. But as per the Einstein and the theory of relativity, we can consider time as a linear dimensions because gravity depends on it. Like space and time as a linear dimension. Just that.
So that if we are trying to take on the time travel idea, then what will be the scenario of the dimension of the time we are considering upon?
this is not related to any type of concept of multiverse, right? This is not related to topic.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Okay, so Sakshi, thank you. Next person, please. Next person
So next
Sir,
one, he's not to
some
present.
actually my
is not present. Okay. So, Shashank, what happened? Samriddhi, Shashank is the next person.
no, sir, I'm
Yes,
present,
sir.
but my presentation is not ready.
Okay, fine. So,
So,
94.
actually, sir, my presentation is not.
Yes, sir.
Please come.
Is it visible, sir?
It's coming, boy.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, so I wish everyone present over here a very good afternoon. And my today's topic of presentation is cryptocurrency. My name is Shatanshu Bodke and my roll number is 2115094. So I'll be going through the following points. That is introduction to what exactly is cryptocurrency. What is money? So for understanding cryptocurrency, we need to have an understanding of what is money. Brief history of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin and Ethereum as one of the two major cryptocurrencies of the world. Bitcoin mining and how it works. What is hodling? Is Bitcoin dead? Why cryptocurrencies work? Conclusion and the references which I have used in making this slide. So introduction. So over the past 1,000 years, humans have been making transactions, making exchanges through some or other form of money. So cryptocurrencies have become all the rage over the last few years as the digitalization nears. The popularity has grown immensely. With the growing demand and future prospects, they are often termed as the currency of modern times. So with the growing digitizations, people are moving towards online transactions and there is need of some kind of currency that holds to these transactions. What is money? Money is a medium of exchange as it is recognized and widely accepted in payments and debts. So money is recognized by both the parties, the one who is making the payment and the one who is accepting it. But one important thing that should be noted is that it is a current form of exchange. The barter system has expired. The system of exchanges has expired and a new system is arising. So money is the current form of exchange that is in use. Over the years, the form of exchange have evolved from barter system to printing paper currency and alloyed coins. So we are exactly in the transition age from digitization and the paper currency. But with the digitalization, the current form of money is again changing. Moving on. The future of money is digital currency. So Bill Gates said this a few years ago as he already foresaw what was going to happen in future. Brief history of cryptocurrency. So what exactly is cryptocurrency and how did it emerge? Digital payment was started in 1990s by David Chaum and his company DigiCash. So what he exactly did was he introduced different kinds of tokens for making different payments, and this was the first ever form of digital payment ever made. In 2009, there was a group of anonymous people, or maybe it was a single person whose name was Satoshi Nakamoto. He published a white paper on technology and the concept of the granddaddy of all the cryptocurrencies ever made, that is Bitcoin. So what exactly he gave was there was a technology of blockchain where we will be able to make transactions through online money. This is the basic core concept of the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is by far one of the most famous and the most successful cryptocurrencies ever. Since then, the world of cryptocurrencies has evolved, and now there are more than 12,000 cryptocurrencies today. So every now and then there is some other kind of cryptocurrency emerging. So what exactly these cryptocurrencies do? There is a meme kind of cryptocurrency. There is a different, named cryptocurrencies. There are cryptocurrencies that existed even before. So this is the brief history of cryptocurrencies. Moving ahead, what is Bitcoin and what is Ethereum? So out of all the 12,000 cryptocurrencies thriving in the world, there are two important cryptocurrencies. One is the largest, that is Bitcoin. Probably everyone knows about it. And the second is Ethereum. There are more than 18 million Bitcoins circulating today. I'm also going to mention that there are only 21 million Bitcoins fixed in the world, and only these can be mined. They are limited. Now, 18 million Bitcoins are already in circulation. Bitcoin has gained acceptance in IT and business communities alike. So if we don't talk about India specifically, if we talk about the US or some other smaller countries like Sweden, they have been started accepting the cryptocurrencies as a form of payment in hotels, in some kind of token currency or something. And very recently, the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, has already announced that they will be accepting Bitcoin as cryptocurrencies, but later he changed the decision. Governments are discussing whether to legalize the cryptocurrencies or not. This is a very hot topic. So India has recently announced some kind of bill for that. Ethereum is the second largest and the most established cryptocurrency. So Ethereum has got a lot of pace after the Bitcoin. Ethereum is the reason that a lot of startup companies have started their own cryptocurrencies. So after the Bitcoin, there was no other cryptocurrencies initially. But when Ethereum rose, people got the idea that there should be some other form of cryptocurrency as well. So the different smaller startups, especially in US, started introducing their own. Ethereum will grow even more from the support of Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. So what exactly this is? Enterprise Ethereum Alliance is a group of individuals or a group of people who are continuously working towards the advancement of the systems, towards the advancement of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies alike. Now, what is Bitcoin mining and how it works? So, as I have already mentioned, there are 21 million Bitcoins already fixed through some specific calculations made. So, what is Bitcoin mining? So, every time a person solves a complex equation, we get a small amount of share to the Bitcoins. So, Bitcoin mining is a method of calculating the value of cryptocurrency assets through a cryptographic process. Now, what is cryptography? Cryptography is a system of converting the code. The number of bitcoins that exist are 21 million. According to Satoshi's calculations, the currency is divisible indefinitely and rewards are halved after every mine transaction. So in some part of the world, people are trying to mine and solve the different kinds of equations and algorithms to find Bitcoin. In the form of award, they are given Bitcoins. So every time they are found, they are divisible indefinitely and the rewards are halved. This keeps the inflation in check. The total energy consumption for mining is very high, and it might take a long time to mine all the bitcoins, making it safe. So this is a very important point. People sometimes ask, what is the age of cryptocurrency? What if all the 21 million bitcoins are mined? What would happen? So this is an improbable case because the total energy consumption of mining is high. It is approximated as for every bitcoin, for every part of a bitcoin, approximately 4 households of energy for the whole year is used. So this is all about Bitcoin mining and how it works. Next coming to the topic hodling. So there is a very interesting story about it, about hodling. So in 2013, a member of Bitcoin Talk Forum, so this was a forum in 2013 which used to educate people about it, used the term HODL hodl for the first time. He was drunk. He was actually drunk and wrote, I am hodling. So he actually previously wrote it somewhere, I am hodling. So this was actually meant to be, I am holding because of the plummeting prices of the Bitcoins. So the reference was to hold the Bitcoins when its value nosedived. The typographical error since then has gained immense popularity. Since then, the investors have used the term hodling for the currency. There is a funny acronym also for the hodling, and that is holding on for dear life. So this is what exactly happens when you hold a cryptocurrency. You're not actually holding, you're hodling. So this is a different world in itself. Is Bitcoin dead? So coming to the current scenario, is Bitcoin dead? Governments hate what they can't control, and this is the truth. So they don't like cryptocurrencies much, that is very obvious. But recently, major economies like India have started accepting it. So it's not actually accepting it, but they are actually acknowledging the existence of some kind of digital money. Maybe it's through Reserve Bank of India or something. Bitcoin has the best performance of all the existing currencies. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is thriving, because it is there existing from 2008. There is a complex calculation and strong one, so it exists still. Chances of Bitcoin dropping dead is statistically impossible because most of the stores, most of the people all around the world, most of the companies are legalizing it. Most of the nations are discussing it. So it is very unlikely that the Bitcoin is going to die. With more stores and storage, is Bitcoin a walking dead? Definitely not. Why cryptocurrencies work? This is a very fundamental question as to why the cryptocurrencies actually work. What went wrong with the paper currency or the alloyed coins that we are going to replace it with cryptocurrencies? They have a low risk of disruption. So as they are getting even more widespread and have a better reach, there is a very low risk of disruption that the people will stop using it because it is an era of digitization and globalization. They are portable, easily transferable from one gadget to another, and accessible with internet. So if you have some decent kind of internet connection with some decent speed, you can actually make transaction anonymously and with a great security. So they are portable. Better value storage and purchasing power, since they are very popular. So as you want Bitcoin, I want Bitcoin, every other person who is present on the internet wants Bitcoin. So there is a better value storage and purchasing power. So it is existing. They are compared to gold. As you can see, the color of Bitcoin itself, it's golden. The color of Ethereum is silver. So they are actually, related with gold and silver as a form of digital currency. So they are compared to gold. They are valuable. They are limited in quantity and impossible to fake. I have mentioned it a couple of times. They are impossible to control since they are anonymous. So the governments are trying to control it or impose some kind of restrictions, but they are impossible to control completely. Moving on, conclusion. I have drawn 4 important conclusions from what I have understood. There are many kinds of cryptocurrencies available. The main motivation for developing cryptocurrencies is breaking of existing financial and technological barriers. So as we are thriving and moving ahead, there is a need of a digital currency. There is no need for a paper currency anymore. There will be a couple of successful cryptocurrencies in near future. Definitely Bitcoin and Ethereum are one of those. There is one more called Dogecoin that is gaining ground. They will soon be accepted in financial mainstream. With many companies doing that, the governments are getting forced to acknowledge it. This marks the beginning of a new era of digital finance. People are moving towards digitization. So this marks my conclusion of what I have understood about cryptocurrencies. I am late to the party, but I am a supporter of Bitcoin. This is what Elon Musk said a couple of years ago. So he is actually one of the important entrepreneurs and billionaires around the world who can actually manipulate the values of Bitcoins and Ethereum because he is a mass investor. So this is what he has to say. So he is actually optimistic about the future of cryptocurrencies. These are my references. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Shatanshu, interesting presentation. One thing, how to stop fraud in cryptocurrency?
Okay, so sir, there is a very simple solution to that. People need a kind of awareness for that, for improving their performances in cryptocurrencies. Their wallets should be safe. So as more and more people get involved into this, there will be less chances of fraud because the governments are still there. So we need a kind of awareness for that, and that is the only solution.
Problem with cryptocurrency, what I feel is everything is in digital form.
Yes, sir.
The moment anything goes wrong, you are in soup. The entire money is gone, just a flicker of eyes. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The same thing happened a few years ago. A person in United States had 7,500 Bitcoins stored on his hard drive and he threw it away. So it was approximately $9.1 million worth. So you have to be very careful about it because there is no physical, touching for that. There is no tangibility involved. So yes, that is a loophole.
Achha, 1 second. Audience, any question?
Yes, sir.
Audience, any question? Please go ahead.
So can you mention how will the world look like if there is means all uses cryptocurrency all over the world, including
Okay,
our
that is
country?
a very interesting question. So if all the currencies were changed and the cryptocurrency gained ground all over the world, everyone is using that, so there will be a drastic change in how we live. It is compared to oil and gold, etc. So the digital gold will be the future and Bitcoin will be the digital gold and the paper currency will be gone. So if there is a massive digitization, which is a long way to go, so this is the case that it might happen, but there are some other disadvantages too.
Okay, fine. And one more question. The upcoming concept of metaverse. So what impact would it put on cryptocurrencies?
Yes, there is also a wave of metaverse coming. So what exactly is going on is metaverse is a different kind of space where people will be there partying together, living together, buying lands and something. So there is a scope for cryptocurrencies to be accepted in the realm of metaverse because metaverse is digital and the cryptocurrencies are digital. So they might go together very well. So yes, metaverse is something that is going to be very crucial for cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
Any other question?
Sir, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. Sir,
Okay, please go ahead.
so we already have digital transaction system like UPI. So why do we really need cryptocurrencies? And don't you think legalizing cryptocurrency might take the control of money from government? So do you think it's a good idea to promote cryptocurrency, and why?
Okay, so this is one of the fundamental questions that is every time raised when people talk about legalizing them. So cryptocurrencies is not what India is looking forward. As an Indian standpoint, I would say that the whole world is going farther in terms of cryptocurrencies. So we cannot stand back and look at it. If people are making money from that, if people are getting benefits, so it is important for us to accept it. That is the first point. Now coming to the legalization part, I think that in future India has to legalize it in some kind, maybe not completely, but in part, because the people will keep losing ground against the international markets if we don't do so. So it is important. And the main thing about cryptocurrencies is that it is decentralized. So the government has not much say in it, and that's why it's difficult. So it is actually under discussion with RBI. So let's see what happens.
Okay, Tenzin, last question.
Uh, Shitanshu, consider yourself as a car seller, okay? And I bought a car from you with a Bitcoin. And after just purchase, Bitcoin just crashed. And will you consider it as a valuable buy, or what is your point on this?
Okay, so this is an interesting question. So actually, the worst part about the cryptocurrencies is that they are very volatile. Today, if the cryptocurrencies has a value of 33 lakh rupees, some other day it will fall down, some other day it will just bounce. So that is a difficulty. So you have to be very informed about it in terms of taking transactions. Also, if a company is actually going ahead with the transactions with cryptocurrencies, then they have to be regulated with the governments. So you have to be sure before making that kind of investment. So this is what happens.
Okay, so thank you. Number
Okay.
95.
Shatanshu, I have a question. So
Uh,
we have seen that the cryptocurrency is really uncertain. So could we really see as a future investment or something like that?
Okay, so I have a counter argument with that. So 50 years ago, we used to think about an age of digitization, which was uncertain, that people will talk face to face. There will be real time internet all over the world. You can call anyone, you can talk with anyone. 50 years ago, I'm talking about 50 years ago. But today, that is a part of our reality. So if today I'm talking about something, some kind of currency that will exist in the digital world, maybe after 10 years, 20 years, or 50 years, it will become a reality. So I'm pretty sure about it.
okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Roll number 95.
Yes, sir.
Please come.
Okay, so my screen is visible.
Yes, make it full screen, please. You are using PDF.
Sir, yes, sir.
You don't have PPT, or it's corrupted.
No, sir, it was not converting into PPT.
Okay, fine. Go
I
ahead.
made in another software.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Shilpa Latiare, and today's topic of my presentation is teens before 20s and upcoming teens. These are the contents we are going to look forward. And now let's look into what being a teenager really means. Teenage is basically a transition stage from childhood to adulthood for an individual, someone whose age is between 13 to 19 years, not too old and not too young. Well, being a teenager means you are too old for half of the stuff you want to do and too young for the other half. There are many aspects which make this transition state quite special, like the way we are full of excitement, thrill, hope, and positivity. Like we experience a lot of emotions, mistakes, applause, and regrets, and of course, learn many things. It is a time to experience both good and bad, horrible and awkward moments, which contributes in framing a teenager's life. Let's see how the lifestyle and interest of teens changed with time. If we talk about the teens before 20s, then their lifestyle was a way different from today's teens. They didn't have access to technology. Like today, we can stay up whole night watching web series, but earlier people could not, as if you stayed up late enough, TV stations would end their broadcast. They used to read superheroes magazines and comics, unlike today's teens who prefer watching anime. They used to hang out with friends, not like present, where they spend most of the time watching TV, playing video games, texting each other. Social media also has a large impact on teens' life. They prefer texting and messaging over making actual phone calls. Even words are not always essential when you have GIFs, emojis, and memes. These are more effective ways to communicate even the complex emotions quickly. It all starts with exploring internet, getting obsessed with social media, blinding following trends, and these are all the basic things people associate teenagers of today with. And obviously, upcoming teens will be one step ahead of us in every respect. But their lives are not always so easy and trouble free. Let's look into the different challenges they have to face. There are many common problems which teens before 20s have faced and still today's teens are facing, just like peer pressure. Much like bullying, peer pressure has been around for as long as groups of people have huddled together. However, peer pressure gets kicked up a notch when magnified by social media. Need for community and identity. Teens struggle to find a place in society, wanting to be recognized by their peers and accepted for what they are. This is one of the most important tasks of their lives at this juncture, and they face with a lot of anxiety and insecurity as they work around this. Physical and mental health issues. Physical issues like poor nutrition, the eating habits of teens are poor and unmonitored, like lack of sleep. In an effort to do and be it all, teens sacrifice sleep. They require about 9 hours of sleep, but on an average, teen gets roughly 7 hours. Mental issues like anxiety, mood swings, aggression, they are also common in teens. Lack of good mentors and role models. Because of this, teens do not get proper guidance and proper time. Next one is depression. When teens get negative remarks like they don't fit into the peer group or something like that, then it leads to depression. Drugs and alcohol. Marijuana use has increased in recent years within senior high schoolers to now exceed cigarette use. Meanwhile, other illicit drug use has been hitting record low numbers. Despite the decline in alcohol consumption, 33.2% of high school seniors still report within the past year. Other problems like social and parental pressure. Some parents live through their children and expect their kids to achieve everything they wanted but did not have. Expecting the teenagers to get good grades, have good friends, excel in extracurricular activities, and well behaved, responsible for themselves, and even sometimes responsible for their younger siblings is a lot of pressure. With changing time, various new challenges arose like cyberbullying. It is a serious problem as it harms a person's self esteem and damages their self image. In order to bullying to be defined as cyberbullying, the behavior must be repeated, deliberate, harmful, and take place on a digital platform. Time management. Time management stress increases at a school and older they get, the number of projects to be done, the tests, assignments, presentations, seminars to attend, and not to mention the sports and other extracurricular activities and other social activities like partying and hanging out with friends. Meanwhile, they are also constantly distracted with electronic media. A teenage learning to juggle all these expectations is under a lot of stress. Academic problems. In recent years, there has been an increase in school students dropping out their senior years at high school as they don't feel motivated with the content. However, some teens drop out as they feel so much pressure to get into the good college that they are burning themselves out before they even graduate from high school. In the end, we never really grow up. We only learn how to act in public. With this code, I would like to end this presentation. Thank you.
Shilpa, good topic. One observation. Some of the slides you have completely narrated. There is no point. Please take care of those slides.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Teenage is basically a transition stage, and it's most difficult age as well. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Because uh, we are not, teenagers are expected to act like adult. They have so many responsibilities, and but we are not ready for this, and it leads to
Okay, fine.
some.
Audience question.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Sakshi, go ahead.
What type of like have you ever experienced like peer pressure in your life?
In my life, it was that time when I was preparing for JEE. All my friends, they were like working so hard and even getting good marks, but I was not serious about that. And looking at them, I feel like what I'm going to do in exams, and I'm going to mess it everything. So out of that fear, I also started studying. So I also
Any other
started
question?
studying in order to reach there.
Yachana, please go ahead.
Shilpa, you don't have mentioned much about upcoming new generation. So I want to know what's your take about upcoming new generation.
About upcoming new generation, they will be more advanced than us, and as they grew up with the technology, so they are expected to be more informed among other teen generations.
Okay, last question, Viraj.
Yeah, hi Shilpa. My question is the hunger for being visible in this world by teenagers. Is that, according to you, can that be termed? Is the solution for that can be age? Like, can you say that after a certain age, this hunger uh, remains no more, or do you take the opposite way? Like, how can that be solved? The hunger for being visible in this world.
Mm.
Recognition, Viraj, I would like to say recognition is a hunger. It's for common for everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even
So
if
she
we are
mentioned in
adult,
the slide that it's for teenagers.
Teenage, it's more, but
yeah.
as you grow old, the passion for recognition grows more also.
So what's the solution for that for teenagers? Because that
You need to
ultimately,
you need to keep it on
that
check.
ultimately
What
has a
I
bad
feel.
side also.
You need to keep
Yes,
a
sir.
check on it. That's what I feel. Shilpa, what is
Yes,
your
Yes,
sir.
sir.
take?
Yes, sir.
So we can work out with them. I mean, we can work out in that, but
Okay, so that's all. Roll number 96 is here. Are you prepared? Roll number 96.
No, sir, only 5 students were informed.
Oh, yes, actually, the roll number 93 is did not give a presentation. So that's what I was asking. If that person is ready, then we can take. Anyway, that's fine. So that's all for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sir,
Vaibhav,
sir, I want to change my topic. I feel my topic was too boring.
talk to your CR.
So they said to talk to you.
See, if there is a repetition like other section, I don't know whether this section or other section, one boy face the same issue. So in that case, it's as I've already said, first come, first serve.
Okay, sir.
So that's the thing. You take a decision. Please, no more asking in WhatsApp. Like many people are asking me, sir, I have chosen first, that boy chosen later. No, no more discussion on that. First come, first serve. And
Yes.
your CR has already mailed me.
Sir, that means, sir, if I change my topic right now and present it before someone else, then that topic is done. So That's fine.
So that's the protocol that we follow. But look at the
Yes,
other
sir.
person as well. He's at loss. So please don't
Yes,
change
sir,
your
sir.
topic
I'll
randomly.
take in mind to take up a topic that nobody has taken, but it will be
Don't
still different from
change
mine.
your
Yes,
topic.
sir. I also take a topic that no one has taken.
Don't change your topic randomly. Otherwise, that another person will be in problem. Please talk to your CR before changing your topic.
Yes.
So thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir.